Today we will explore 8 practical tips from the 4-hour work week that will show you how to automate your work and live a life with more freedom. If you are tired of working overtime and not being productive enough, this book can be a useful guide. Although it was written 14 years ago, the messages and lessons in it are still relevant, making it a continuing bestseller. Are you ready? So, let's go. Insight number 1. Relative income is more important than absolute income. Imagine 2 guys, Matt and Tom. Matt earns $75,000 per year, and Tom earns $150,000 per year. So my question is, who is wealthier? Most of you might say that Tom is obviously wealthier because he earns twice as much as Matt. However, the catch is that Tom works an average of 80 hours per week, while Matt has automated his business, requiring only 10 hours per week to maintain his income. Tom lives in an expensive city due to his job, paying $500 in rent each month. Matt pays only $200 per month because he can work from anywhere in the world. In summary, Matt is significantly wealthier, despite earning only half of Tom's salary. Yes, Tom earns more in absolute numbers. I would argue that Tom's hourly income is likely even lower than $469 when factoring in additional costs related to his work, such as driving to the office and dining out because he lacks time to prepare meals at home. You might be wondering how you can be like Matt, earning more and living in freedom wherever you want. Well, the author recommends starting an online business to achieve freedom and the ability to work from anywhere. This advice has caused frustration and accusations of fraud from many, as the average person may not know how to make money online, package their knowledge into an online course, understand affiliate marketing, or realize the potential of earning through YouTube. This lack of knowledge leads many to view this advice as unrealistic. However, it doesn't mean that you can't learn these things and build an online business. You certainly can. But here's the catch. Most people won't do it. Most people would rather live unhappily for 30 years than spend 3 years in uncertainty to build their business. If you say no, then I can do it. I can embrace uncertainty and invest the time. In that case, I have a few more lessons for you. Insight number 2. The timing is never right. I'm almost certain you know someone who constantly talks about what they will do when the market recovers, when they have more money, or when the inflation finally ends. The problem is that the timing is never right. There will always be obstacles to overcome or bypass. But the sooner you start, the greater the chances of success. There is a beautiful Chinese quote that fits perfectly with this lesson. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Choose something you want to learn or improve, then read a few books about it. That is the easiest, fastest, and most effective way to get started. Insight number 3. How to deal with fear. If you no longer want to be restricted by your fears, you must first define them. That means you should write down your fears on a piece of paper and slowly confront them step by step. Let's say you're afraid of being alone in your life. The first step is to write it down and admit it. Don't deceive yourself. Once you've done that, ask yourself, why are you afraid of being alone? Are you introverted or shy when talking to someone you like or find interesting? There are likely reasons specific to you. Once the fear is defined and accepted, make sure to create a plan for how you want to proceed to diminish your fear. Let's return to our example. If you're being alone, you might sign up for a team sport at your school or meet with friends after work to make more connections. You don't have to talk to everyone every time, but taking a small step every day will gradually make a difference and by the end of the year create a significant impact. Insight number 4. Being busy does not necessarily mean being efficient. Many people believe that being busy is the same as being efficient, but that is far from the truth. Working more hours does not equate to accomplishing more work. And Tim Ferriss illustrates this with 2 very popular principles, the Pareto principle and Parkinson's law. The Pareto's law or the Pareto technique means that 80% of the results come from 20% of the inputs, and it applies to all aspects of our lives. For example, 80% of the results come from 20% of the task we perform. Whatever you do, always prioritize and work on tasks that will yield the best results. For instance, if you are building an online business and have identified 10 tasks that need to be done, it's very likely that only 2 of these tasks will bring the most results. Many people fail to take the time to identify these 2 key tasks, and as a result, you often see people spending days or even weeks coming up with a fancy name for their company or designing a logo, Who cares about the logo if the product is not good? You should spend your time better by talking to your customer and validating your product idea. These are the tasks that lead to results, not the shiny logo or the fancy name. For this reason, you should have two lists. One is a to-do list and the second is a not-to-do list. Knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do, because spending time on useless tasks can cause a lot of time and energy that could be used for important tasks. Now let's discuss Parkinson's law. This law states that work expands to fill the allotted time. You have probably experienced this in school as well. When the teacher assigned homework with a short deadline, you completed it much faster than assignments with a longer deadline. Insight number 5. Interrupting the interruption. Tim Ferriss frames most of our problems as unnecessary and senseless. He also suggests that many problems resolve themselves when you remove yourself from the situation. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you know that one coworker who constantly seeks help, but when you're not around, they find a way to solve the problems they have. Why is that? Humans are lazy beings and want to solve every problem in the easiest way possible, which usually means asking others and utilizing their time. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it's bad to help other people. In fact, I believe it's very generous and kind. However, we must remember that time is our most valuable asset in life, and we need to manage it wisely. This means that if there are opportunities to help others and communicate with them without burning out, why not give a try? Perhaps you can create a frequently asked question handbook for your company, or you could hire a virtual assistant to assist with demanding clients. In other words, try to leverage other people's time so that you have time for the most important tasks. Insight number 6. Automation. Never automate something that can be eliminated, and never delegate something that can be automated. Let me explain what that means. First, ensure that every task you or your team perform is genuinely necessary. Do you really need to check your emails 3 times a day? Wouldn't it be better to allocate 30 minutes each day to respond to emails and nothing more? Do you truly need to attend meetings every other day? Do they bring you forward or do they rather waste your time? You get the idea, so let's focus on the automation and delegation part. As we've discussed earlier, we know that 20% of our tasks consume 80% of the time. You might say now, yeah, that's true, but how can I leverage that along with automation and delegation? Let's say you are a business owner spending most of your time processing and responding to customer inquiries. Perhaps there's a FAQ section on your website that can redirect customers to a human for more complex issues. This way, you could save a significant amount of time. Insight number 7. Income on autopilot. Once you've built a business, you must find a way to delegate most time-consuming tasks to someone else, so that you can focus on more complex tasks and live your life, which is why you started working for yourself in the first place, right? To finally be free and not be a prisoner of your own schedule for the rest of your life. Do you remember the example of Matt and Tom at the beginning? With these steps, we aim to reach where Matt is, because having time and generating income is the real wealth. You might be thinking right now, this all seems true, but there's no way I can reduce my working hours from 40 to 10 or even less. First, remember that these steps will take some time, and you won't achieve them overnight. Once again, it's about taking a few steps each day that will eventually add up. Start by hiring a virtual assistant for the simple tasks. There are so many websites where you can find one. It doesn't have to be expensive and it will save you a lot of time. Believe me. Once the first assistant knows exactly what to do and no longer needs your support, you can hire another assistant or pay a programmer to develop an automated chatbot or use a non-code software or AI tools. I hope you understand now what I mean by outsourcing your life and creating a system around your business. Insight number 8. Common mistakes in the pursuit of becoming new rich. In this final takeaway, we will discuss the most common mistakes people make when trying to shift their businesses to the online realm and become part of the new rich community. Mistake number 1. Working where you live, sleep, or relax. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to separate your workspace from other areas. Working where you sleep is like brushing your teeth in the living room, because each room in your home has a different atmosphere that should not be mixed. Once you're in the office or study, your body and brain feel different. I understand that some of us have small apartments, making it challenging to have a separate room just for work. Try at least set up a dedicated corner for work. Mistake number 2. Pursuing infinite perfection instead of settling for good enough. The fact is, you will never be perfect. Yes, you can improve both at work and in your personal life, but stressing over every tiny detail is much worse than accepting that you will always have some flaws and imperfections. However, this doesn't justify being lazy and not striving to become an overall better person. Life is about balance. And mistake number 3, ignoring the social rewards of life. You've probably heard the saying, enjoy the fruit of your labor. And that's exactly what I want to explain. Why travel so far and sacrifice your time if you can't even enjoy it? Take your friends and family on a beautiful trip or vacation. If you have come this far and applied these steps to make your life free, then use the free time to create memories and experiences. That's essentially what this whole book is about, creating a happy life for yourself and achieve financial freedom. That concludes the last insight. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new today. Thank you for watching.